a disagreement about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where did the concept come of the woman has to be a virgin before she marries? Like,
God.
isn't that the symbolism of the white dress with the veil? Like she's walks up to the altar with the veil on, that means she's a virgin? Well, that's used to be an old tradition. I don't know is that man-made or is that from God or what?
Repeat that now?
So where did the concept come that the woman has to be a virgin before she marries?
From God.
Okay. So is a woman worthy? Well, what I'm trying to say is, forget about the white dress and the veil and all that. Is she worthy of being married if she's not a virgin? Of getting married if she's not a virgin?
Is the man worthy of her marrying him if he's not a virgin?
Well, I don't think it says anything about the man, right? In the Bible.
Is the man worthy of her marrying him if he's not a virgin?
I don't know.
Why you don't know that?
I mean, it doesn't say in the Bible. It only says about the woman.
But the man should be a virgin too. The man is the head.
Yeah.
The man is the leader. He's the light. So if the light can be worthy of being a virgin.
All right. This conversation, while I understand what Jesse's talking about, I understand what this man is referring to. The conversation itself isn't so important, but this idea that people who take the Bible so damn literally, who don't see the Bible in the more metaphorical nature, the more allegorical nature of the Bible, that the way it's meant to be kind of interpreted, because it doesn't matter which one it is, Old Testament, New Testament, this is all spiritual, it's all psychological. So these words that were used in the Bible, that they were speaking a different language than what we speak, because these Jesse and the man in the audience are attempting to translate the Bible using modern lingo and modern vernacular and modern slang, and you can't treat the Bible that way because it just doesn't work like that. So I got a post here, completely ignored, of course. Your concept of virgin isn't the same idea that's presented in the Bible. You're going off the mainstream idea of what constitutes a virgin. The white dress and the virgin woman refers to the blank state of mind a wife is supposed to have in order for her to start a new generation with her husband. The husband can't lead until the wife lets go of her old ideas of self and goes into the man's world so that their children will be perfect. And by the way, that's what it means. That's what the ritual is of adopting the husband's last name. You're going into his world. Like the woman is going into his world, adopting his last name. Her old name is supposed to be wiped completely. Like the parents of the woman are supposed to be willing to give up their daughter in order for the new husband to lead a new generation. But, you know, everybody forgets that, right? Nobody knows about that. They don't care. They just, oh, it's tradition. Wife gets married and she takes on his last name. Oh, it's just tradition. Ha ha ha. You know, just complete fucking bunch of dingbats. Doofuses. Just, they don't think about it. They don't care. Reading on. Virginity in the Bible has nothing to do with body count. It's all spiritual in the mind. Mary gave birth to the perfect man because she was a blank slate to receive God's light through her husband. Stop applying modern ideas to biblical times. Those people had a completely different language than we do. And this is what kind of really gets on my nerves when they get into Bible talk, whether it be in Jesse's service or any other service. Like Jesse's service is a little less guilty of this. They do dive into spiritual issues, but right here, this is kind of my only gripe right now with this church service, is that they were getting way too literal. Like, to me, it's just very, very obvious that these kind of expressions in the Bible are just allegorical. So I've been researching more of Revelation, just kind of bit by bit. Kind of as a callback to my cat presentation from about a week ago involving Chrono Trigger and this idea of Lavos. And just as a quick recap, Lavos is like a parasitic alien organism that comes down to the planet in the game, in the storyline. It hits the planet. It's basically an asteroid. It's presented as an asteroid at first, and then as the game progresses, you find out it's more of a parasitic entity, alien kind of creature. Even to the supernatural extent. And the game kind of revolves around that. And here in my presentation that I did about a week ago, I made connections between the Corona spike ball and Lavos's design in the game. So I've been kind of researching that, looking at Google Images here real quick. Star of Worm. The name of the star is Wormwood, so it's going to be. They keep calling it a star. I don't know why. But it's more of an asteroid, a rock. The way it's presented, right? And you have all these dumb preachers. Like YouTube is just filled with preachers and priests talking about the end of times and how it's a literal fireball is going to come from the sky, and they're so brain dead. Like it blows my mind. And I'm starting to learn about this wormwood thing, and I know there's an allegorical nature to it, and I just know from the way the reality kind of reveals itself to me that this wormwood thing that I stumbled upon isn't pointing to like a literal asteroid in the sky that's going to fall on the planet in, I think 2029 is when people are like predicting it. It's so stupid. And by the way, these religious nut jobs are going off the information that scientists are giving them. And to me that's just crazy. Like, do they not see that these scientists are just a bunch of clowns in disguise and they don't even realize it? Like, it just blows my mind that so many preachers, like so many of these Christian idiots just believe everything they're told, and like the most normiest of normies, to put it simply. So do y'all remember about half a year ago when the ad blocker controversy, y'all may or may not have known about it, but I just clicked on a random article just to have something on the screen, but there's this big old thing where Google was purposely making the website slower, the YouTube website slower, for anybody that ran ad blocker, as a way of deterring people from running ad blocker. So, if you're a child of the internet, or you're used to being on the internet a lot, especially on a personal computer, if you're a mobile user, you probably don't have no idea, but there are ad blockers that you can download on your browser, that you can use to block ads on YouTube, okay? It's very common knowledge for someone like me, maybe other people who are, like I said, children of the internet. It's very, very, very common knowledge, but to the average person, to the average normie, they're not going to know even what an ad blocker is. So there is this bit of a Streisand effect when YouTube began going to war, quote unquote, with ad block, because the average person, the average, just the average reality goer, they go to work, they clock in, they don't examine themselves, they don't think about these things that I talk about on my channel, for instance. And it's like they wouldn't even know about a browser plugin like ad blocker if it wasn't for Google themselves talking about it. And this relates in a big way to me about what I'm talking about, the average normie. Like, you'll have no idea how just utterly clueless and stupid the average person is. They just don't research things. They don't really do anything extra. Like, they go to work, they go home, they pop in Netflix. Like I said when I covered Inside Out 2, it's like they go watch a movie. Oh, it's a kid's movie, it's just a cute little movie. Haha, it was fun to laugh at the little cartoon characters. Let's go home and watch more Netflix and get on my phone and all of that. It's like just the average person, there's just no quote unquote higher thinking involved whatsoever. So the same thing applies to this Wormwood of Revelation business, where it's like the average priest, the average preacher is just spitting nonsense about the end of days, the end of the world.
For things that are unpalatable or The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many died from the water because it was made bitter. Revelation 8:10-11. It has been scientifically proven that the poisonous red clay brought new fauna to Earth, the worms and the northern woods, the wood of the red dragon. This would be a union of the fallen angel or star with the mother goddess, the original god of Earth. The ground is now sour.
So you have somebody speaking in this like kind of esoteric manner and appearing like to be philosophical or deep or whatever, and it's like it's the same thing where it's like they're taking what they read in the Bible and what the scientists tell them so damn literally.
Yeah, in Revelation chapter 8, we're changing to another question here. What is the meaning of wormwood in Revelation?
See what bullshit he makes
10?
up.
Well, wormwood means bitter.
Wow.
And what it refers to is probably like an asteroid that
See?
plummets into the atmosphere. And as it plummets through the atmosphere, it looks like a star because as it plummets through the atmosphere, it's going to be on fire. And as it goes through the atmosphere, debris from this asteroid is going to fall into bodies of water, causing all of that water to become extremely bitter, undrinkable. Now, in the book of Revelation, one of the things that we see from God's judgments is the judgment on the ecology and the earth itself. So man's living environment is slowly but surely being destroyed. And this is one of the ways that it's happening. The water supply is being destroyed. We also see a little bit later on the water turns to blood, and we see that people are getting, burns. And so the combination of burns and no water, not a good thing.
Wow, not a good thing, guys. Listen to the preacher man.
But wormwood is primarily related to the turning of water bitter so that it becomes undrinkable.
All right, that's a little deeper. Like, I'll give him that. I'll give him points for that.
But what about this star's mysterious name? Wormwood. The original Greek means bitterness, literally or figuratively, and or calamity, figuratively. And the potent liqueur known as absinthe derives its name from the Greek. Wormwood is one of the most bitter herbs in existence, and its bitterness is a warning as it causes convulsions, paralysis, and even death if taken in larger doses. In the Old Testament, it is used in relation to the bitter consequences of immorality, specifically forcing the hand of God in judgment. Revelation chapter 8, verse 11 is the only appearance of the word in the New Testament. Incredibly, there is a city on the earth today named Wormwood, but nobody lives there. It's a ghost town. It's
Wow, dude.
referred to by the name Wormwood because it's known by its Russian name,
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl. Chernobyl.
Wow. I would have never guessed.
Inevitably, some on the internet have gone wild with this and decided that this proves we're living in the tribulation because the Chernobyl meltdown infamously occurred in 1986. Here's what those internet scholars need to remember. According to the Bible, when wormwood hits the earth, 1/3 of the world's fresh water is going to become contaminated. That's a really specific result.
It's a 33, dude.
And that did not happen when the nuclear reactor at Chernobyl went into meltdown. The Lord put these specifics in Scripture
No, he didn't.
so that we need not be confused. But I think there may be a clue in all of this, and I personally find it very difficult to believe that the Chernobyl wormwood nuclear link is purely coincidental. I think there's
No. It's not milk shenanigans, okay? It's always not milk shenanigans. Like, the Bible is written by man. It's not written by God. Let's just fucking get over that right now. But the controllers, quote unquote, the not milk, Satan, Lucifer, they have to put the truth in this book, in the Bible. They have to put the truth out there. They do it through the media. They do it through TV shows. They do it through books. They do it through everything but the news. And they have to show the truth. They have to give us the truth that is the part of the contract. Because God says, and I'm not quoting anything specific here, but he tells, his son, his little shithead son, hey, I'm sending you down to earth for being a little bastard. You're gonna play with my creations. You're gonna play with my children, and if you don't follow these rules, I'm taking your toys. You're coming home. And that's basically what he told him. He said, hey, dude, like, you have to show my children the truth of what this reality is about what you're trying to do. And so this Lucifer guy goes, I'll give him the truth, but I'm going to wrap it in language. I'm going to wrap it in metaphor. I'm going to wrap it in allegory. I'm going to wrap it in doublespeak. I'm going to confuse them as much as possible. That way, only a few people can see. And that's the way God has it set up. God already knew what this little fucker named Satan was going to do to confuse his children. And it's put that way on purpose. The mind, the brains, the intelligence that we possess is a bottleneck. It's a feature. The language is a feature of this existence. Because there has to be a limiter. Because we're too powerful. Individual beings are way too powerful. Their ability to manifest, our ability to control time, it needs to have brakes on it. It needs to be a limiter on it. Alright, to talk about Stardust Simulation's post here, and it's cropped off. Unfortunately, in the desktop version of YouTube, posts get cut off that are not presented in a certain ratio, and there's no way to click on it to make it bigger or anything like that. It only works on mobile. I don't know why it's retarded. Just to read it, so in this theory, there is an infinite line of simulations, one starting with the other. Once a simulation becomes advanced enough, it creates its own simulation, and this repeats for infinity. It's proven by the facts that we are creating simulations ourselves. If we are a simulation, then we are a simulation creating a simulation. The issue is that we haven't yet created advanced simulations, and that means in the infinite line of simulations, we are either in the first or the last. If we're the first, then we're not a simulation, and if we're the last, is a one in infinite number chance possible, highly unlikely, possible but extremely unlikely. This really reminds me of the Scott Steiner math thing. I'm gonna play it for y'all because it's actually really funny. And I used to be a big wrestling fan back in the early 2000s. Like I have a soft spot for kind of stupid wrestling memes. All right, here we go.
They say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
It cracks me up because I'm thinking of like this dude in this post talking about 1 out of infinity or whatever of this reality being a simulation, and it's like the same kind of vibe where like the smartest person in the room, right?
If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie.
And the numbers don't lie thing gets me too, because it's like the people who who are always looking at the numbers, right? That are always studying the dates and studying the numbers, and they got their little chalkboard out, they got their whiteboard out, their dry erase marker out, and they're like talking about the numbers. This is the same thing, dude. Like, this is the vibe I get from these people. It's kind of a tangent here. I know I'm kind of all over the place in this video, just gonna have to bear with me. But not the average person, because the people who are studying numbers are not average. I think it's like a combination of autism and kind of projection a little bit. But I'm not gonna deny that there is something in the numbers. But when I'm watching somebody talk about the numbers, right? Like the people who study numerology, and they're always trying to break down what the numbers mean or what the date means and try to predict the future. This event's going to happen here. Like, this is this is what I hear when I listen to them. Like, I can't watch that shit. I really can't.
See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But
It's like the same kind of stupidity, the same kind of ridiculousness.
Scott Steiner, it's going to be a three-way for the TNA heavyweight title at Sacrifice.
He can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%.
So I want you to imagine Scott Steiner, only he's got like a dry erase board in the back, and he's got his little marker with him, and he's like writing this shit down.
I got a 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Like looking at JFK assassination, or when Monica Lewinsky did the blowjob or whatever. Like, there's a 16. What does that mean, dude? Anyway, get back on topic. Golly, I got derailed pretty hard by that. So I'll leave a comment here. Shout out to Billy for posting this, by the way. It was pretty interesting to kind of think about. So again, about the taking things so literally thing, and I'm starting to realize this is just what normies do. Like, these people that think they're having these really deep conversations are just like kind of like take the mainstream normie opinion about the universe or reality or the multiverse or whatever. They take whatever they're told and kind of just regurgitate it back without really thinking. And as people, like I'm guilty of this too, right? I think everybody does this, obviously. But here I kind of go over it. Taken so literally, just because humans create simulations with computers doesn't mean that it's a direct analog to what this reality is. Saying it's a simulation is merely a way of communicating and being understood. The same way the story of Noah can be used to describe the psychological flood of the mind, or to describe the father protecting his family from the spiritual flood that the world rains on us. The same group of dummies who believe the Bible word for word are the same type who think simulation theory is literal. And he posted some cats here. Kind of funny, black cats. Cute cats, but really this isn't a simulation, but it's as if it's a simulation. The word itself came after this reality manifested, therefore we can't name something retroactively. We can only use words and metaphor to attempt to understand something, finding a commonality. Jesus described the spiritual by comparison to bread and fish, and the Hebrew scripture at the time, because that's what he had to work with and that's what others understood. We make analogies compared to our current technology. Most people know what a computer and what the Matrix is, so it's easy to say that. For computers, people compared this reality to actors on a stage or a novel. I'm sure if a person went, wow, I surely don't believe that this reality is really a novel, this novel theory has no leg to stand on, that person would sound like a doofus. So what I'm basically saying here is this thing where people take the story of Noah's Ark literally, or they take Matrix theory literally, or computer simulation literally, and it's just an allegory to describe what something might be like, or is like. Like I say here with the bread and fish, it's like anytime bread is mentioned or anytime fish is mentioned, it's talking about wisdom and knowledge, okay? He doesn't literally mean bread and fish. Same with Noah's Ark. We're not talking about a giant fucking ship that one man built and put his family on and a bunch of fucking animals on, and a flood came. It's not about that. It's not literally talking about that. It's talking about the mind. Reality is more akin to a reflection, aka the Black Mirror, than a matrix simulation using a computer. Saying it's like in the Matrix is just easier to get a person to understand. I use analogies to computer components as well, mostly because it's a fun thought experiment and we can think of our reality as a computer rendering via graphics processor. Only we're the graphics card and our sensors like the speakers/monitor and the motherboard will be the groundwork for the background processes. Our minds, along with our senses, do the heavy lifting and the reality around us, like the game engine or operating system. Things have to work within the confines of how the engine was built, but our combined perspectives have to have an agreement on what happened in the simulation. Think the 7-Eleven job application. Big and small events create Mandela effects, along with retrocausal events and synchronicity. In the Matrix, Deja Vu the Cat was a program that helped repair the simulation after a catastrophic event. Again, like the 7-Eleven job. The simulation was temporarily paused, and while Deja Vu would make repairs and delete everyone's memories. So I just kind of go over this idea of dummies taking things too literally. And I'm not saying I'm correct with any of this. All I'm saying is it takes a little bit of outside thinking of the box to understand what this reality could be like. It's not a literal matrix like in the movie The Matrix. And to me, movies like that are put into the world on purpose to kind of cloud everyone's judgment so they can go, maybe our reality is like the Matrix. Ooh. Just a bunch of fucking doofuses, man. And it's so frustrating sometimes. You know, the whole reason I wanted to make this presentation is because I found a video, and I can't find it now, but I found a video where it was a depiction of the Wormwood comet or asteroid or whatever you want to consider it, that literally looked like the Corona spike ball, and I wanted to show it off because I thought it was fucking crazy, and now I can't find it, so it is what it is.
Economy, or to look at to Earth's atmosphere in 2029.
Look at him.
Could this be the Revelation 8 Wormwood prophecy? My guest has important information, natural and supernatural, to explain what might be a massive
what does that even mean?
Of end-time proportions. Interested?
No.
I'll tell you what, I've been so looking forward to this specific
Who is this guy?
interview.
Tom
I'll tell
Horn?
you why. Because
Oh, Sid
40
Roth.
years ago,
The guest is Tom Horn.
Tom Horn died. And he was given sealed instructions.
Job 33, the Lord speaks once, yea, twice, but man perceives it not. In the night, it's going to happen, that it would never happen. In April of 2029, Apophis is going to strike the earth.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Tom has good reasons to believe that this asteroid is a cosmic cover-up of end-time magnitude. Be right back.
It was discovered at the Kitt Peak National Observatory 2004. That's when NASA named it.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
They named Apophis right after the fact.
Wide, or 1,200 foot wide, or 4 NFL footballs.
See, you motherfuckers, this should be the clue. Your first clue is when NASA tells you and names something specifically something, and you dumbasses eat it up like it's some good ass oatmeal or something. Oh, lordy Lou, would you look at this? Guys. This is impossible. Apophis is the name of a pep, as the alternate name of a pep. Apophis is a monstrous snake and the enemy of the sun god Ra in ancient Egyptian religion. Apophis is also known as a pep in Egyptian, and the name likely means giant or giant snake. Apophis attacks Ra's barge as it sails through the sky at night, trying to kill Ra and prevent the sunrise. Ra defeats Apophis every morning at dawn. Apophis is considered a principle of evil and the ultimate monster, and the Egyptians feared his uprising more than anything else. So they named this asteroid after the serpent Apep. Ain't gonna happen. You wanna know why? Because the Hydra is Apophis, represents Apophis. The Hydra represents Apep. Alphard represents the cat. Alphard, the Alphard star represents the avatar of Ra, the sun god. Don't you see, you guys? This is Apophis. This is the sun cat. This is fucking crazy. I'm speechless, like, I am absolutely speechless. So I got this pulled up to the side here. And I'm gonna kind of superimpose it and layer it over. Kind of show you so I got the cat and Hydra star, the Hydra constellation. So I got the cat and the Hydra constellation kind of superimposed on top of each other. And this is the symbolism. This is what this means. This is Apophis, the snake. This is Apep. This is Mao, the avatar of Ra, defeating Apophis. This is what the symbolism means. This is what Apophis means. This is what Wormwood means. This riddle solved. It's over. I've already cracked the code. You see what I mean, guys? This is my entire point of this video, is that these dolts, these idiots, take things so fucking literally. How come my dumbass can solve a riddle and they can't? And it's been revealed to me through the cats, okay? And it's said and done. There's no wormwood asteroid, nothing's gonna happen. If anything, I've already called it. I've called it ahead of time, way ahead of time, that it's gonna be the alpha generation. This all represents the alpha generation. This right here, this cat right here, Alphard star, cat, Alphard generation, alpha generation. The cat devours the Hydra. The cat devours Apophis. Cat devours Wormwood. Cat devours Lavos. Cat devours the Corona. Maybe not that, but you get my point. It's like the presentation I did, guys.
Father, and has no reservations about using the cat's abilities to cause harm to humanity.
The cat symbolism. Another screen over. The cat symbolizes the sun. The sun god Ra, devouring the Hydra. Natural enmity. Cats have natural enmity with snakes. There's the fence, and this is gonna be in it's gonna be feline looking humanoid character. As that boat pulled night, she would turn into a cat and protect Ra from the serpent Apep.
The reaction speed of cats is quite remarkable, ranging from 0 to 7.
Sun god Ra, Apophis, Apep, natural enmity, alpha generation, right here. This is the old tradition, guys. This right here, the Hydra, Apophis, Wormwood. Look at this, the snake. Killing of Apophis by the living cat. Good googly moogly. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Guys, it's all here. It's all here. I didn't even have to dig that deep. How come my dumbass can figure this out? Why is it that my dumbass can figure this out and these so-called experts can't? These fucking idiots on YouTube, these idiots at the pulpit in front of groups of people giving them money. They can't figure it out. They can't fucking figure it out. These people right here talking about a star. What? Talking about an asteroid. Dude. It's here, guys. It's said and done. It's already said and done. It's over. Alpha generation.
70 milliseconds, no doubt about it.
So right here, like this is a kitten, guys.
Remarkable.
Alpha generation.
To 70 milliseconds, no doubt about it.
This is a kitten. Taking out a snake. This thing looks like, this cat looks maybe 6 months old. 5 months old. So right here,
This is the
look, I made a community. It's ridiculous. Look at this. I'm not even getting paid to do this, y'all. I'm not getting paid. This fucker right here is getting paid to talk his nonsense. To talk their nonsense. Look at this. I can scroll forever. Wormwood Revelation. I could scroll forever. All these idiots talking about it. What? And I'm the only one, guys. Look, it looks like Lavos. Come on, y'all. This is ridiculous. Literally ridiculous. This is the funniest shit I've ever come across. I'm so dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded, y'all. I'm speechless, like... I don't know what to say. I think I'm done, like... I didn't expect to stumble onto any of this. When I heard Apophis, it's like, look up Apophis and boom. Apophis is a pep. A pep and the Hydra. Pep and the Hydra represent tradition. Boomer generation, old generation, World War II, World War I and II, old world thinking. Okay? Cat. New generation. Devours the snake. Do y'all understand? I don't know if I'm making myself clear enough, y'all. How clear can I make this? Y'all have a nice day.